When most think about scaling lean, they think about cutting costs, delivering things cheaper, or finding ways to do more with less. And that's one way to look at it. But here's what I've actually found that works and is probably not what you expect. Here's the thing, you can scale lean and actually increase your costs. So let me explain. Scaling lean isn't cutting corners. It's to generate more profit, maybe even with less revenue. Because what happens with a lot of companies is that they scale up top line revenue. That number looks great, but the bottom line, well, it's flat or worse, it's shrinking. And they're working harder, they're bringing in more clients, they're hiring more people, but at the end of the year, they're not actually making more money. So what you should be optimizing for is profit per client and profit per headcount, impact per engagement. And when you do that, your profits can actually increase as you grow, not decrease. So let me show you how this plays out. Think of it as a simple matrix. On one side, you have how scalable an offer is, and on the other, you have how valuable it is. And if you're low scalable and low value, you're a commodity, and that's the worst place to be. And if you're low scalable but high value, you're a boutique. And a lot of service firms live here, and the work is valuable, but it's completely dependent on you. And at some point, maybe you hit a wall and you're like, well, this isn't sustainable. So what do most people do? They try to make things more scalable. They productize, they systematize, they build packages, but in the process, they make it less valuable. And when something is more scalable but less valuable, you have to drop the price. Now, sometimes that works if you have a software advantage or overseas staffing or some other edge that allows you to deliver cheaper and still make margin. But here's the trap. Your delivery margin might look good on paper, but then when you factor in the cost to actually sell a thing, well, the numbers fall apart because the hardest part isn't delivering a scalable service. It's getting people to actually want to buy it. And you've likely done that hard work already. And if you've stripped out the value to make it scalable, you're going to struggle. So what's the answer? Well, you need to find a way to be more scalable and more valuable at the same time. And that's the sweet spot. And that's what we've found works best for scaling lean. And here's what this looks like in practice. We sit down with clients and do profit modeling. We ask, what's your profit goal? Let's say they want $500,000 in net profit after paying themselves a market wage. Then we ask, well, how many clients do you need to hit that number? And a lot of times when we do the math for what the most common client comes in at, maybe they'll say something like, well, we need 100 clients a year. And then when we look at their business model, we look at what they're actually delivering and what they could be delivering. And we find that with a different structure, a more valuable offer positioned around outcomes, they may be able to hit that same number with, say, 13 clients, not 100, but 13. And suddenly the whole game changes. So they're already working with 20 clients. Now they're looking at this and thinking, wait, we could upgrade a few of our clients we already have. We could replace some of them that aren't a fit anymore. And suddenly the whole business feels lighter. And here's what this actually really comes down to. Are you selling activities or are you selling outcomes? Because when you're selling activities, you're competing on hours, on deliverables, and on how much stuff you can do for the money. And the clients who pay the least, they're usually the hardest to work with, right? They don't give you the budget you need. They don't let you implement the strategies you know are going to work. You end up frustrated doing watered down work for people who don't really value it. But when you're selling outcomes, when you're positioned as a growth partner who solves real painful problems, everything shifts. Clients are willing to pay more. They're willing to invest deeper. They give you the conditions that you need to actually do your best work. And that's what makes lean scaling possible. Now, here's the part that most people miss. If you want to be a growth partner externally, you have to run your company that way internally. That means managing your team to outcomes, not activities. Not just work hard and try your best, but to actual results, actual KPIs and milestones with clients. Think about it from your own perspective. Would you rather hire someone who's just going to show up and do tasks or a leader who's going to come in and drive real results? Well, that's what your clients want from you. And that's what you should want from your team. And it doesn't necessarily mean more work, but it does mean more intentionality. It means more clarity on what success actually looks like and more accountability to actually be hitting it. And now the market is demanding this. Clients don't want to pay for an expensive set of hands anymore, not when they think that AI can do it cheaper. And whether or not that's true doesn't really matter. The perception is there and it's creating a downward pressure on the value of activity-based services. So now you have a choice. You can keep scaling activities and race to the bottom, or you can become the growth partner who brings strategy and execution and delivers real, tangible results. So when you make this shift, the numbers change dramatically. I've seen companies be able to increase net profit by 600% in 3 years. I've seen firms triple their profits while actually working with fewer clients. This is not magic. It's just a different model. You're optimizing for outcomes. You're building systems around transformation, not just tasks. And you're training your whole team to think the same way. So if you're looking at your business right now and you're thinking, I'm working with too many clients for not enough profit, well, that's exactly the problem that we help firms fix. We run a short clarity call where we look at your current client mix, your delivery model, your profit structure, and then we identify where the math is breaking down and what would need to change in order to hit your profit goals with fewer, better fit clients. This will help you be able to get a clear view of whether your business is structured to scale lean or if it's quietly working against you. If this sounds useful, you can apply for a free session using the link below.